All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room, and we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Marcus, UAT! They're going to need some therapy after this. 36! Spot! 36! Spot! No,
this is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Watson trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. This is Freeman. In on the tackle, Kamoko Toure.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Looking long for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. Well, that gives him a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check 15. Check Monday. 11. Hey, seam 6.
From his goal line here, Luck. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run. Devontae Freeman. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
Good job, Pete. Good job.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And it's 3rd down.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Love. Got an open man, that's Campbell. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off of play action. Luck. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Devontae Freeman, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10, Freeman. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards there, first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And that'll set him back 5. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Check. 53, Mike. Check.
On 2nd and 9. Luck looking deep for Hilton. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. Luck to Hilton on the hook up there. 54 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Squeeze, double. Wide. Get wide.
They'll run here with Freeman. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to...
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. J.J. Watt racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction.
Come on. Hey, box truck.
Out of the gun, Luck. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
Let's go.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
We know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Darius Leonard, last year's leading tackler as a rookie in the NFL, in on the stop.
Let's go one more. Check three. Line him up.
On third down, Freeman. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
So now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
3 buds. Showing up. 24. 26, check 27.
From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
6-man. Check curls.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
35 yards that time on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get a 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Freeman. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's Love. Ebron with it over the middle. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Indianapolis.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 1st and 10, Locke. That's going to be caught. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Watson. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 41 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Laquan Treadwell. His first touchdown on the year. As they are now on the board here in the first half. Now, the scoreboard still does not look good, but at least they polished off that goose egg.
Yeah, they've been thoroughly outplayed in the first half. Finally, a little spark of life, but it's going to take a lot more to add to that flame for them to thoroughly get back into this one.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll cut this to a 17-point spread. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We 11 big. Hey, Delta. 53's the mark. 53. Check 53. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you.
Luck now to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Luck showing he can be dangerous when he tucks it and runs. He's able to pick up the first down.
How about that scramble by Andrew Luck? Sometimes we forget just how big, strong, and yes, fast Andrew Luck is. When he came out of college at the Combine, shocked everyone, ran a sub-4 840.
And he grew up a big soccer guy over in Europe, so he knows how to use his feet.
That he does, and I think it's helped his legs along the way.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This from 54 yards away. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return where they didn't create a penalty? Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now it's Luck off the bootleg. Steps away. Caught left side by Funchess. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On second down, Freeman. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Line 40! That's right, baby. They don't want it. Come on. Line 40! Easy. Alert. Move! You must be getting tired.
3rd and 2, Luck. The quick slant caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Watson. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have... Oh, the ball is is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing on second and long. Watson to the right side and complete to Thomas. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Over the middle, it's Thomas. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. Here's Brian Anger now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll fake it. Now Love. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Freeman. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A good pick up there of 20 yards. Luck now 15 out of 17 through the air, only 2 incompletions. It's first down. On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Check tight, check tight, check tight. Check him.
Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Freeman. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Here's Locke. And he gets it to Funchess, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 35. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And the Colts first down.
We are headed to the fourth here on Thanksgiving night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
11. Rush in. Mexico.
Here's Freeman. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 2nd and 7, Luck flush to his right, and it's incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Luck. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Vinatieri's kick is good, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he's got a man open. That's Allen. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. The 20. Touchdown, Houston. Royce Freeman with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm going to come back to you.
Freeman again. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Monday.
A 20th carry now for Devontae Freeman. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. And it brings up 3rd down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for the first time tonight.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't he?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Indianapolis, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Indianapolis next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, they go down to defeat for just the 2nd time in 11 games so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.